Once upon a time, there was a baby boy who was born to a family of slaves in Egypt. His mother loved him dearly and wanted to protect him from the evil Pharaoh who ruled over Egypt. She had heard a prophecy that her baby would grow up to be a great leader, so she knew she had to keep him safe.
One day, she placed the baby in a basket and set it adrift on the river, hoping that someone would find him and give him a better life. The basket was carried downstream and eventually found by the Pharaoh's wife, who was out bathing in the river. She took pity on the baby and decided to raise him as her own.
The baby grew up to be a handsome young man named Musa. He was very intelligent and wise, and he was loved by both the Pharaoh's family and the people of Egypt. However, Musa knew that he was not truly Egyptian and felt a deep longing to know his true heritage.
One day, Musa saw an Egyptian soldier mistreating a Hebrew slave. He became so angry that he struck and killed the soldier. Realizing that he had committed a grave crime, Musa fled from Egypt and began a new life in the desert.
Years passed, and Musa became a shepherd. One day, while tending to his flock, he saw a bush that was on fire but not burning up. Curious, he went closer to investigate and heard a voice calling out to him. The voice belonged to Allah, who spoke to Musa and told him that he had been chosen to be a prophet and to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt.
Musa was frightened but also felt a great sense of purpose. He returned to Egypt and demanded that the Pharaoh release the Hebrew slaves. The Pharaoh refused, and Allah sent 10 plagues upon Egypt, including frogs, locusts, and darkness. Finally, the Pharaoh relented and allowed the Hebrews to leave Egypt.
Musa led the people through the desert for 40 years, teaching them the ways of Allah and providing guidance and leadership. Along the way, Allah provided manna and quail to feed them and water from a rock to quench their thirst.
Finally, Musa and the people arrived at the edge of the Red Sea. The Pharaoh and his army were in hot pursuit, and the people were terrified. But Allah told Musa to strike the sea with his staff, and it split in two, allowing the people to cross safely. When the Pharaoh and his army tried to follow, the waters closed in on them, drowning them all. Musa and the people continued on to the Promised Land, where they built a great nation and lived in peace for many years. Musa's teachings and leadership were remembered for generations to come, and he is still revered as a great prophet in Islam to this day.